Hey guys, welcome back. It's me, Paco, and you're watching Bad Witch Books. So today we're going to be doing a book haul. All the books I bought in December, January, and February. I have about 39 books. I am probably missing a couple books from this, but it is past midnight and I'm just tired, and I need to get this video filmed. And I think I got all the books, but I'm knowing myself, I probably skipped out a lot. Some of these books, now remember, December is Christmas and February is my birthday month. So I do have some gifts here. If they are gifts, I will say who they are from and I will tag the person down below. But let's get to it. God, I was going to try to do this in order, and then I said fuck it. And then also, after this video, I'm going to be doing hauls once a month because I don't know why my ass thought I could 3 months, 39 books. It was a good idea. Yeah. I don't want to put these books away after, so I'm going to try to tonight. Okay, let's get to it. Okay, so the first book we have is a book I got for Christmas, and that is The City We Became by N.K. Jemisin. This is a very popular N.K. Jemisin book. I'm also not going to go too heavy into the details of what the books are about. I'll try to do a quick synopsis because, like I said, more than 30 books. So we're going to try to, do this quick. But basically this is about New York City as if the city becomes sentient, and I think each borough is a character that has a personification. This is a gift from Alicia for Christmas. Thank you, Alicia. She also sent me a birthday gift, books, and I have another Christmas gift from her. She's amazing. She should be having her booktube channel out soon. I think we're all waiting for it for Alicia, but very much appreciate the gift for Christmas. And my birthday gifts, you'll see. Okay. Next book is a Fairy Loot book. This is the Fairy Loot pick for January, the Fairy Loot January book. Spice Road. And gorgeous. I kind of already showed this off in my March TBR, because I'm reading this in March. But this is basically a Middle Eastern inspired fantasy, and it has to do with that. Like I said, I do go over more of this one in my March TBR. Okay, next is The Buried and the Bound by Rochelle Hassan. This book is about a hedge witch who is basically the keeper of all the magic in the city, or it's her job to make sure everything stays safe, and things happen. And there's 2 boys involved. I know one, can't remember his past and they have to work together to stop something. But I'm really excited to read this. I'm also reading this in March. Next is the book I bought when I went to New York. You guys will have seen that already, but I went to New York for my birthday, and while there, of course, the bitch had to stop at the bookstore, and I went to the Strand, and I bought Chain of Thorns. This is the 3rd book in Cassandra Clare's Last Hours trilogy. Last Hours is the sequel trilogy to Infernal Devices, which is like the Shadow Underworld in the London in the I think this is the early 1900s, I believe, and this is the 3rd book, and I'm excited to read it eventually. You're going to see a lot of me, scrooging. Okay, next book is Kingdom of the Wicked. No, Kingdom of the Feared. This is the 3rd book in Carrie Masako's Kingdom of the Wicked trilogy. This is the Fairy Loot edition, so I haven't shown this one off, but it's got that, it's got that, it's got this, it's got this, and that's all it's got. Yeah, they didn't do end papers. But I have the complete set now of the Fairy Loot set of the Kingdom of the Wicked trilogy. But basically this is about a witch. After her, in the 1st book, her sister is found dead, and she accidentally summons a prince of hell to help her find her sister's killer. Next book I have is A Magic Steeped in Poison by Judy Eileen. I bought this with Barnes & Noble's hardcover sale that happened at the end of the year. This is about a girl who magic is involved in the tea, and she is a tea brewer, and I know that it somehow is responsible for her mother's death, and she, I believe, enters a competition. I could be wrong. I'm really excited to read this. This cover is gorgeous. What does it look like naked? Ooh, it's a purple naked book. I'm excited to read this eventually. I don't know when, but very excited. Next, we have Last Tale of the Flower Bride, which is by Roshni Shakshini, her first adult debut. This is my book club pick for March, so I will have the date in my Discord very soon. if it's not already out when this video is filmed. But this book is people are home, so you hear the dogs barking. This book is about a guy. He gets married to this girl. She's very beautiful, very gorgeous, yes, giving life. And she says, "I'll marry you, but just don't ask me about my past." And he agrees to it. And then everything goes well until she has to go home for something, and then he goes home to her home, her childhood home, and there's like magic and like stuff everywhere, and he like wants to ask questions, but he can't. Very excited to read this. I'll be reading this very soon. Next book I have here is Venko by Carrie Diamante. This is a book I will be reading with Helen, one of my subscribers, and like one of my favorite online friends. I talk to her and Princess almost every day. And we will be buddy reading this book, and me and Helen, this book is about witches that are trying to like end patriarchy. I say it all the time, and now I can't think of the word priority. I can't speak, but basically, our main character, Lucky, her name is Lucky. She lives with her grandmother, and they are a part of this indigenous tribe, and she is used to the magic of that world. And then one day she has found this spoon that has to do with Salem witches, and like it's the iteration of that. And I'm very excited to read this. Love this cover. I'm very excited to buddy read this with Helen. I dumbed that down. There's a better description out there. Okay. Books fell. Okay, the next book is The Witch's Heart by Genevieve Gort. I talk about this book in my latest video about the mother of monsters in Norse mythology, and as she is like involved in Norse shenanigans with Loki. Very good. Next book is The Ballad of Never After by Stephanie Garber. This is the Fairy Loot edition. I will show off the features because it is a Fairy Loot edition. It has gorgeous end papers. We love to see. And then it has a stunning reversible dress jacket by Rosie Thorne. I love Rosie Thorne's art. And then... oh, this makes sense now that I've read the book. And then Naked. It's gorgeous. I love my nails in the purple. That looks pretty. I like the combination of red and purple. And that's a really nice shade of purple. These might be my favorite Fairy Loot editions, honestly, TBR. I'm very excited to see what the third book looks like. But this is a spin-off series of the Caravel trilogy. This follows our main character we meet in the first book, Evangeline Fox, as she has to go to the Northern Kingdom, and she's involved with the fate from the Caravel series, Jack of Hearts. And shenanigans and political intrigue happens there, and she finds out she is somehow related to something magical there. Very good book, really fun, cotton candy-like read. We're at 8 minutes, and then books fell. Love that for me. Okay, next book is a book from Book of the Month, and that is Lunar Love. I believe this was January's pick for me, so I think I skipped February. This is by Lauren Kung Justin, and all I know, this is about a matchmaker romance. She is a matchmaker and she's looking to find love, and I know it's involved with Lunar New Year. That's all I really know. I'm excited to read this when I eventually read in a romancy mode. Okay, next book I read was The Honey. Was The Honeys, and then not next book, but the next books I'm showing you. The Honeys by Ryan. Really sticker. You got to cover the author's freaking name. Rana La Sala. This is a book about a character named Mars. They decide to attend a boarding school, or I think it's a summer school or something like that, like a very prestigious summer program that their sister attended before their sister died, and she died really mysteriously. And they are trying to like get immersed with the popular girls that their sister was immersed with, so they can figure out something. And they find out that they're not everything's as it seems. And I've heard this is really good. I'm excited to get into their work. They have another book coming out later in the year that I'm really excited about, so I'm hoping I like this. Okay, another Fairy Loot book. We have Cruel Illusions by Margaret Fulston. Very beautiful Fairy Loot cover. End papers giving us life, and then a gorgeous naked hardback. Which means that this book will never be physically read by me because I don't want to fuck it up. Fuck it up. Fuck it up. Okay, so this book is about a girl who her mother is killed by a vampire. And she's like, fuck that. I'm going to become a vampire hunter. And she's like, how do I figure out how to do that? So she is like, doesn't know anything. And then she finds out this like magic group of people. And she's like, you have magic. I want to use it to kill vampires. And they're like, sure, but join us in this competition that you might die in. And she's like, I guess. And that's all I know. I heard it sounds really interesting. I've had my eye on it before Fairy Loot picked this to be their book of the month for December, I think. And also, and again, we love when my nails match the book. Yes, yes, yes. As long as, because I don't got these red nails for lunch longer. And yes, look at that. Yes. Okay, sorry. Okay, we are 10 minutes in. God damn. Okay, next book we have is Unsealy by Evie Brown, and I believe this book's about two girls. I believe they're twins, but one is a changeling, and I know there's autism rep in this, and it has to do with the Fae. That is all I really know. And I know that it has magic. And that's all I really know. I'm really excited to read it. It looks pretty. Whew. Next, I got in the Barnes & Noble hardback sale, which was Soul of the Deep. This is the sequel to Skin of the Sea, which is about a mermaid who her job is to get the souls of the people that are thrown off the African slave trade ships and basically like deliver them to the afterlife. That's what she does. But one day she breaks her sacred oath and saves a person instead of like taking his soul. And she has to, because she broke the sacred law, she has to go to the creator god to beg forgiveness because she doesn't want her patron goddess to get in trouble. And it's really good. The first book was really good. I'm excited to read the second one eventually. It is a good mermaid book. And this cover, look at that. Like, oh, again, purple and red. But this cover is also just gorgeous. One mermaid will rise. I'm very excited because the book ended really good. And I'm excited to see where we go. Next is Light Lark, which, again, didn't plan this. But this book, I really don't know what it's about. Alex asked her. I got it because of all the drama that was going on with this book. Because I saw a book talker say, and they did not mean this is a good thing, but they said, if you like A Court of Thorns and Roses, and you like, what is the other book? What is the other book? Chloe Gong's book. Where's the ellipses, like above my head, and I'm trying to think. Chloe Gong's book is titled, you guys are shouting at me right now in the comments. But the Romeo and Juliet one, my mind is fully blanking. This is why you shouldn't film late, Paco. But, These Violent Delights. I know you guys were shouting it at me, but I don't care. But they said, if you like These Violent Delights and Thorns and Roses, you'll like this. And they meant that in a bad way, but I was like, but I do like that, so I'm gonna check it out. But yeah, also, I know this book is about a challenge, and it's got, I think, sirens somehow are involved, and I'm really excited to read it. It sounds interesting, so I'm gonna give it a shot. But yeah, that is what that book's about. Whew. We are hopefully halfway done. This is, like I said, this is the last big book haul you're gonna get from me, because the bitch is tired. And by a bitch, I mean me, because I am a bitch. I am that bitch. Forever will be. Okay. Lesser Known Monsters by Roy Michelson. All I know is about queer monsters and a found family. Need I say more? I'm gonna read it for Halloween. Or maybe Pride Month. We'll see. But very spooky cover. Is not a hero. Oscar Tyndall's not a hero. Anxious and decisive and awkward. You can barely get through a normal day. Now he's about to find out monsters are real. Oscar's friends, brave, stubborn Zara and hyperactive, paranoid Marcus might help discover what hunts him. But yes, I'm very excited to read this. But yeah, we're back. I got a text. My brother was asking me a question. Okay. Next book on my list, not list, but just the next book I can grab. More books are falling. You guys are noticing my mental state is very tired already. But if I didn't film this now, it was probably going to keep getting pushed. So yeah, I'm filming this right now. Okay, next book is Heart of the Sun Warrior by Soon Town. This is the sequel to Daughter of the Moon Goddess, which Daughter of the Moon Goddess is about the legend of Chang'e and her daughter who escapes the moon, and shenanigans happen. Very lit cover. So, edition. Very beautiful UK cover. Very beautiful UK back. Pretty end papers. Oh, gorgeous. Oh, I don't know why it kind of sounded like, what's her name? What's her name now? I can't think. God dang it, I can't think of that actress's name. The gays love me. Okay, if you guys can guess the actress, that's the challenge. Okay, this is the cover. Beautiful cover. Beautiful gowns. Very excited to read this. I will be reading this month, but I did buy and you will see in here later, a non-Fairy Loot edition because I want to physically read this book, but I don't want to mess up the pretty version. Only Fairy Loot people problems. Or people who buy special edition problems. Okay, next is another book, thanks to Helen, that I've got. And that is The High Mountain Court. I heard that this is, if you are looking for a Court of Thorns and Roses vibey book, but you want more inclusivity, this is a good series to read. The first book is about a girl. She's a red witch, and the red witches have been, like, killed off, or been tried to kill off by the king, one of the kings, and our main character is a red witch in hiding until an elf or fae prince finds her. Very excited to read this. It sounds good. I don't know when I will be reading this, but it is hardcover, and I'm very happy to have a hardcover edition. Okay, next book is Song of Silver Lake Night by Emily Winslow. Book about a girl whose kingdom is conquered, and she has magic she didn't know about. Boy finds her. They go on an adventure. Also, just check out my last video, and I talk about that. Because I read it in last month, but yes. Okay, next book is This Is Why They Hate Us by Aaron H. Estevez. I'm a terrible Latino. I probably fucked that up. This book is about a bisexual his Mexican boy in LA. Yeah, LA. And it's him coming to terms with his sexuality, his love for his best friend. I love the colors of this picture. And I'm very excited to read this. Because, like, if you know me, this is my vibe kind of book. Very excited. Okay. Next book. Another book I got when I went to New York. And that is How to Succeed in Witchcraft. I keep wanting to say witchcraft because of the American Horror Story episode title. But How to Succeed in Witchcraft. This is about a girl who is sent to a school. She has a junior. She basically goes to a school where the witches are. That's all I really know. This cover is gorgeous. I got this when I went to the Strand. Okay. Regular U.S. edition of The Heart of the Sun Warrior. We already said that. Okay. Next book, Adventures of Amina Al-Safir. This is the U.S. edition because I preferred the U.S. edition. This is the next book by Samantha Shannon Chakraborty, the author of the Guild Daevabad trilogy. This is about a pirate who she has been retired for a couple of years, and she goes out of retirement for one last heist. I've heard nothing but great things about this. Very excited because I love the Daevabad trilogy. Okay, next is The Poppy War, which is about a girl who, after she passes a test to get into college, she gets into the college that she wants to go to. It's a highly elite military academy. She struggles because the academy is very difficult. And after she gets places, war happens, and it's a war academy, and it's about war. Very, very good book. Again, check out last week's video, which I'm going to hopefully have linked down below for this book. Okay. Another book that was a gift from the amazing Alicia. Race to the Sun by Rashi. It's because, you know what it was? The Adventures had Rashi Shorshi's on the back, so that's why I stayed with my mind. Rebecca Warren Horse wrote this book, Race to the Sun. This is about a girl who, after her dad is kidnapped, her and her brother find out they are related to the hero twins, and they have to go to an adventure based in Navajo legend to save their father. Very good. Read this last month. Next book, The Blood Trials by N.E. Davenport. This is a adult sci-fi / fantasy about a girl who, after her grandfather is killed, and he is a highly respected politician in the Empire, she goes kind of undercover to find out her grandfather's true killer and to see where the corruption in the Empire leads to. Very good. This was my pick for February for my book club, and it was very good. Another win for Paco. Okay, next book, Break Up with Your Girlfriend. But no, this is Break Up from Hell. This is by Anna Delvita Cardinal. This girl right here finds out that the boy she's been dating, I think, is the Antichrist. She breaks up with him, and I don't think he's like, hell no, and I'm very excited to read it. Sounds very good. It's a darkly comedic novel, according to... I don't know this author. But I am excited to read it. It looks very fun, and it sounds fun. And I'm like, break up with your boyfriend. Okay. Next book is Hellbent by Leigh Bardugo. This is the sequel to... This is the sequel to... why am I getting an accent for no freaking reason? Ninth House. This video is just a, like, montage of my mental sanity. But basically, this is the sequel to Ninth House, where Alex Stern continues in college at Yale. And she's trying to fix something that happened in the first book. I don't want to spoil it. Next books are gifts. This is a birthday gift from Alicia. Again, you are amazing. I got Jade City by Fonda Lee. All I really know about this is that this book is very good. And it is a urban fantasy as it takes place in a city. And there is some form of magic, but it is a gangster book, I believe. Or there's like a mafia or something. And I know that it involves Jade somehow. Very excited to read this, considering it is on my 23 for 23 books to read this year. Okay. Next is another birthday gift. And this one is from... I had it in here. There we go. I kept this in here. This is from Kiana. I believe I probably fucked your name up. I am very sorry. But Sketchy Lady, I don't know if you have a channel. I'll still tag you. But thank you. I deeply appreciate it. Because I know we don't really talk like that. But thank you. I very, from the bottom of my heart, thank you. And it is Actor Age Evie Brown. The last book in the Brown sisters. And I've been meaning to read this forever. And I'm very happy you got it for me. So I will be reading this book. And I'm very excited. I'm very thankful from the bottom of my heart. Thank you. You are amazing. But this, like I said, is the last book in the Brown sisters. This follows Eve as she does something. I don't know really much. No, I know she is working at a hotel, and I think she falls in love with at a hotel restaurant, and she falls for the manager, or it's like a bed and breakfast or something like that. I love the other two books in the Brown Sisters trilogy, so I'm very excited to read this. Don't fall. There's a pile of books that is almost as tall as where I'm sitting. Okay, now we have one more book, and then we're getting into the graphic... No, we have more books before we get into the graphic novels. The comics. Okay. Next is Strange and Stubborn Endurance by Foz Meadows. All I know is that this book is about a guy who has to get into a political marriage, and he doesn't want to because he's attracted to men, and his family is like, you're gonna screw this up for us, and they're like, well, he could just marry the person who's gonna marry his brother. And so he does, and shenanigans ensue. I am very excited to read this. I will probably be reading this for Pride Month, or sooner, because this has been on my radar for a while, and I'm very excited. And it's self-paint art that looks really good, and that's really what it takes for me to read a book. If I find some really good fan art, I am going to read the book. So if you want me to read a book, Send me fan art. It makes me want to read it. I don't know why I'm talking to you guys like this. Like I said, this video is just of showing of my down slope of my mental state. Whew. Okay, we're gonna go into the comics and then the last books. Okay, so these are all the comics I've gotten. I got Judgment Day, X-Men, Avengers, and Internals. This is a Marvel event by Kieran Gilligan. I don't know the other two authors like that. But this was like the summer's massive Marvel event that spanned a bunch of comics. And basically it is the Eternals are like, yeah, the X-Men are now, mutants are now immortal. We don't like that. That's our thing. So we're going to kill you. Okay? And the X-Men are like, fuck you. And the Avengers are just there. So yeah, very excited to read this. I'm loving where the X-Men are going. Kieran Gilligan is an amazing author. So I'm very excited to read this. Next book I have now is the Scarlet Witch complete run. This is James Robinson's complete Scarlet Witch run. This was back in 2015. So when I first got into comics in the 2012, 2013, 14, 15 is like when I was into when I first got into comics. This was one of my series I was really into. I'd like collected a couple of the singles, and then I just like lost interest because I got busy with school, so I never completed it. But I had a couple years ago read it digitally, the whole series, and I enjoyed it. But now I finally have the complete set, so I can maybe do a reread. But it is basically Wanda as she goes on magical adventures and she tries to discover her true like origins because of events that happened that we hate. We hate the retcons that happen. Marvel. Why? Triggered. We hate the changes they made because it was a stupid movie. Okay. But I enjoyed this comic. And the art is really fun. Art changes a lot. And I really liked a lot of the stories. The mini stories are really fun. I like Agatha Harkness as a ghost that like haunts Wanda. And like, you killed me, bitch. Yeah. The series is really good. Okay. Next is Season of the Bruja. I haven't read this yet. But this is about a young Bruja who is dealing with shenanigans because of church. And it talks a lot about, like, cultural magic and stuff like that. The art is really good. I haven't read it yet, so that's why I don't know much about it. But I've, like, had to buy it when I saw it. And I'm very excited to read this eventually. But this is by Erin Duran and Sarah Solar. The art is just gorgeous. Look at that. I mean, Season of the Bruja, you know, it was like, just take my money. Okay. Next two books. This is volume 1, right? Oh, I didn't get one. Okay. This is going to count for 2 books, so I'm not going back up to get it. But it's Marauders, volume 1 and volume 2. This is volume 2. This is a very big hardcover collection. I've read this entire series, and I wanted the hardcover editions. But basically, this takes place at the beginning of the Krakoa era, and Kate Pryde, Shadowcat can't enter the gates that all mutants can enter, and she's like, what the hell? And they're like, we don't know. And so Emma Frost, our fave, is like, hey, I got a job for you. Do you want to become the Red Queen of the Hellfire Hellfire Club, and like be a pirate and take mutants who can't get to Krakoa, our island nation, safely? Like, you want to go and save them if they're being attacked and, like, bring them back. And then also, like, in case anything happens to our drugs that we're selling to the world, because we have drugs that we're selling to the world that, like, cures dementia. Do you want to, like, help us? And they're like, yeah. And she's like, yeah. And so she becomes basically a pirate. It's very fun. It's got amazing moments between Emma Frost and Kate. Storm has some really good comics in here, like, stories in here. Very much enjoyed. This is by Gary Duggan. This is the 2nd volume, and volume 1 I also have. But I love this one. I love this series. Okay. Next is Catwoman, Lonely City by Cliff Chang. I think I said that right. If I didn't, shoot me. Basically, this is a alternate universe story. So it is a Elseworld story. And this is DC's Black Label, so it's their, like, adult line. And this takes place in a world where Batman and Joker have died, and Catwoman goes to prison because she apparently is guilty for it. And after she gets out of jail as an old woman, she's like, I have one more heist. And her heist is to break into the Batcave that is being, like, securely guarded. And so she has to get a crew, and I'm very excited to read it. I've read the first 2 volume issues that came out, and then I decided I wanted to wait till this was all collected, and I really loved it. I love the art style. The artist and writer are the same person, and I read his work before. The first comic book series I ever got into was Wonder Woman New 52. He was the artist for Wonder Woman 52, and I love his art. I love his colors that he chooses, and it is I'm very excited to read this. Side note, this will be the Bad Witch Books Enchanted Forest Book Club pick for December. So, if you can gaze into the future, and life is just a dream. Okay, like I said, mental sanity. Which I already am, like, not the most, like, we're not getting into it. You guys like seeing my shoulder as I stretch? Okay, last 2 books. Then I gotta put these books away. The Stolen Heir by Holly Black. This is the sequel, I guess, technically, or spinoff from the Folk of the Air trilogy. And it is about Oak. And if you know what happened in the Cruel Prince series with Oak, you'll be interested. This also follows a new character from the Court of Teeth. Very excited to read it. I've seen fan art. Again, what made me want to read this was fan art. So I'm excited to read this. Love that for me. I also really did like the Cruel Prince trilogy. It's like not my favorite out there, but it was fun. And we love fun. Where's the last book? Did I put it here? No. If you fall, I'm going to fight you. Again, like I said, I'm going to fight all these books. Okay. Second to last book, so I just found another one. Ruinous Fate by Caitlin Smith. All I know is this is about witches. She's got 2 different colored eyes, and that's pretty. A cursed witch with an unspeakable power, a charming ex, a dark secret, a mysterious prince with a forbidden future, a deadly siren with a hollering past, a shy runaway with a broken heart, and a thrust into a demonic forest of impossible tasks. They soon learn when you play dangerous games, you win dangerous prizes. Okay, I want to read this like sirens, witches, princes, exes. Okay. This got to be read soon. And it's got a map. We love that. Ooh, the witch run. Ooh, okay. Everything I see about this book, I want to read it more. And I'm mad because it's not on my TBR for a while. If this falls, this is my last attempt at life. Not life, just like existence. And then I'm going to just fade. Okay, last book. I wanted last video, but I couldn't find. And I find it right after I film it. Book 2 problems. But that's N.K. Jemison's Far Sector. By N.K. Jemison. This is a Green Lantern book about Joe Mulligan, as she has to be a Green Lantern on a planet where there are no emotions. And I talked about this in the last week's video, so I'll have that linked below, because I did review this, and it was really, really good. Okay, another book I completely do not know. It's on my shelf somewhere. And it's probably on the bottom shelf, and I can't pick it up. And I do want to say thank you, Jen, for your Christmas gift. I loved it. Thank you. I cannot wait to read it. Very much appreciate it. So, Alicia, Sketchy Lady, and Jen, from the bottom of my heart, thank you guys for your gifts. I really appreciate it. But yeah, like I said, this will be the last big book haul ever. Because I'm not doing this again. I'm talking to myself. Like, the attitude is towards myself. We are going to start doing monthly book hauls. Okay? Look at me, Paco. Look at me. I'm sorry you guys had to see that. Okay. Thank you guys for staying this long. I do not know how long this video will be. I don't know how much of this video is just me randomly nonsense. But if you've been subscribed, you know what this channel is me rambling nonsense. And, like, maybe you guys had fun as me sliding into madness. But I post a video every Friday. I should have vlogs every other week on Wednesdays. Maybe we'll go back to weekly. We will see. We will see. And then I don't know when reading sprints are coming back, especially not this month. Fuck no, I'm like working nonstop. But that's how I'm able to get so many books though. But thank you. Links down should be down below. And that will be like my Instagram, Twitter, Amazon wishlist, and my Discord, where my book club and my Throne of Glass Readathon happens, and maybe other things. We will see. But thank you guys. Comment down below if you got any new books, if you want to read any of these, or if you've read some of these. What did you think? And are you excited for monthly book hauls instead? Because the bitch ain't doing this again. Okay, bye!